Alright. Take 5. Alright, so hi, I'm Retroverse. Today I'm going to be running Felix the Cat for Game Boy. I would like to show this off in future marathons because I think it's a generally fun game, and it's pretty similar to Super Mario Land, which I also run. I have not made very many runs of this game, but I'm certainly trying to improve. So at this point I have a 1320, and record is 1204. I'm hoping to PB, but we'll see what happens. I'd like to just complete the game in a reasonable time and kind of show off what it's about. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so one of the big things in this game, or the biggest thing possibly, is the tokens, which you'll see me collecting here. Every 10 tokens, you actually get an upgrade, and Felix will become stronger. His attack will get better, and also the upgrades kind of act like mushrooms to Mario, and where instead of getting hit and dying, you'll just downgrade to the previous form. This is a port from the NES game, but it's significantly shorter. I'm not super familiar with the NES game, so I don't know if it's the exact same number of stages or anything, but I do know that the general idea of the game is pretty much the same. Unfortunately, I missed the shot there, so messed up a little bit there and lost the upgrade I wanted, but that's okay. Having the second stage upgrade on this going into this next level is almost identical, and it really doesn't mess much with the route itself, honestly. Yeah, that's the only thing we want to avoid is actually getting the upgrade on the previous platform, because it's very hard to catch since it's over top of a moving platform. Okay, I'm gonna get this. Just iframe through that guy. Alright, now we just want to make sure to have the artillery at the end of the stage. I'm not sure if I will because of what just happened. Yeah, I won't. Okay, well, we'll do it with bike. That's fine, I guess. Do backup strats. So ideally you have the artillery, which is the final form of Felix on this normal version of Felix, because it hits for twice as much damage. So right here we're having to blast him several more times than we would like to. Regardless, we got through the stage. Relatively slow, but no big deal. Let's just keep on going. So now we're going to spam start, skip this cutscene. We'll have to do that at the end of every world. Alright, so now we're flying Felix, which has its own set of upgrades and everything. The second stage of this is not great. The attack is wonky at best, and it only hits for 1 damage, so we really want to get to the plane as fast as we can. It's not super critical that we end up on the plane on this stage, because there's still another flight level before we fight a boss. So the 1 damage, 2 damage is identical for regular bad guys. However, for a boss, we definitely want to make sure to have the correct upgrade at the right time, because we don't want to have to deal with what we did on the first boss, where we're having to hit him 8 times instead of 4. That's a pretty big time difference. Alright, so now we're on the 2-2. We're regular Felix again. We want to try and get the artillery by the end of this, because there's a boss, and again, the 2 damage is pretty significant. There's a pretty big sequence skip here on the stage by jumping through this warp pipe. Whoops. We'll end up... you won't see it because we skipped it, but it actually skips a pretty significant portion of the stage. This game has a lot of lag, so we need to try to keep that as under control as we can. I'm going to turn around for this. Alright, so here we're on to the second boss. Now this one is it's not a hard boss. However, this is kind of what we would see more of in the first boss, where it only taking 4 hits instead of 8, significantly faster. That was a pretty good boss kill too, and we're on 99 tokens, which is exactly where we really want to be going into any level. Because it's going to set us up to get an upgrade as soon as the level starts, and we're going into another basic Felix level, but in general, having 99 or ending in 9 would be close to ideal, depending on what stage it is. It might be more strategic to set it up to get the upgrade on and ate my input there because of the lag, but it might be more strategic to set up your upgrade, maybe a couple coins in. Like that one is not great because there's no way to catch it without turning around. The lag is really bad sometimes, especially when there's a moving platform on the screen. So hopefully being able to take out the bad guys before they are on screen or before they really stay there for any amount of time is best. It helps reduce the lag a bit. Alright, so now we're on to the next stage, which is the flying stage, and we're going to want to get the plane. Well, unfortunately, we ended on 21. A little sloppy there coming out of the last level. Especially because we missed that frisbee, we'll have to circle around. Dang. So we just want to make sure we have the plane upgrade by the end of the stage, which is coming up kind of soon, but we should be able to have enough coins for that. Yeah, here we go. We'll just take a shortcut up here. And then we need to get down because the boss is up here on the right. Yep, there it is. Okay, so here, this is very similar to the next boss too. It's a similar fashion. That one's just underwater as opposed to flying. Now, ideally in this game, you want your attack, your shot, being stuck in the bad guy when his iframes wear off, because he'll take damage immediately. As soon as the iframe wear off, if a bullet is stuck inside of him, he'll just take the damage. So that's like the quickest way to pump out the damage. Alright, so now we have the Raft level. The only Raft level. Alright, we got the dolphin quick. Kind of get stuck there. So one of the cool things is when you come back into the water, you kind of dip down so you can go under platforms like I just did. Unfortunately, I just kind of got stuck under it there for a second. This level is pretty easy to just kind of cruise through, especially once you have the dolphin, because it's a lot easier to take out the bad guys. And there we go. Next stage, we're going to be Scuba Felix, which is the only stage that we'll see it. But the last upgrade for it is pretty cool. Also the music. The music, we're just like, this music's scary. I feel like Felix is in danger. As soon as this music starts, like he's in immediate danger. We're just going to race our way through the level here. We want to get to 80 coins by the end. It shouldn't be a problem. The boss is coming up soon, and it's going to look very familiar. It's going to look just like the last one. It's just a different person. So we have to hit him twice here because we lost our upgrade. Thankfully, therethere's not a level like that, so it's not going to make a big impact whether or not we're the turtle or the submarine. I'm not really sure what they call it. But... Okay, so we're going to spam start, skip the cutscene. And that's the end of World 3. Or 4, sorry. And then we're going to next have this stage. This is kind of an awkward one because there's only one stage in this world, and it's this level. It's a shmup, and there's no upgrades, so you only have one hit, and if you die, you have to restart from the beginning, which is like a over a minute level. So really unfortunate. However, if we stay up here, we're pretty safe. The only two things we need to look out for are the little slime bad guys that come out after us, whatever they are. They're like Dragon Quest slimes. And yeah, the kind of the way we know we're getting close to the end is 2 slimes will appear up here within our range, and as soon as the second one appears, we're almost done with the stage. Now you only get one shot. You can't have more than one shot on the screen, so you need to be careful with your shot. Right now I'm playing pretty safe, but I could probably hold it a little longer. But those slime dudes, once they come out and they decide to swoop down, they go really quick. So you want to be ready to take them out as soon as they appear. Really. Other than that, this stage doesn't have a whole lot going on, so it'd be a really good opportunity to, if it's a donation marathon, it would be a really good opportunity to read donations. Now we just took something off screen. I'm not sure if it was the jelly or not, but I think it was the slime rather. Yeah, it was. Okay. So once you get to that platform, it's over. Alright, so 2 more stages. Now we've got 2 regular Felix stages, so we're already artillery, so we're looking good. No big deal. It kept us from having to slow down a little. So these you kind of have to set up. You kind of have to set up jumps because you can't kill them even when you have the artillery. You can't destroy the little Saturn things quickly at all. They just have too many hit points, so just kind of have to skip them every time. Dang. Get the car. Okay. I really don't mind going into the final stage as not the artillery because it's a lot easier to hit some of the enemies not being the artillery. Miss the bat there. It's not that big of a deal. It's just the bat can be kind of a troll. In fact, the bats are easiest to hit as the stage 2 Felix, the magic hat Felix, because he basically has a circle around him, and any bad guy in that circle just gets taken out. Missed that heart back there, but again, it's not that big of a deal because hitting things with the artillery is not that easy, and we really don't need it until the last boss, which is coming up fairly quickly, but... Here he is. Alright, so we're going to try and set up shots here to... Whoops. Didn't realize I was on the upper level there. So we're going to try and set up shots to be inside of him when his iframes wear off. Didn't work out in our favor that time. But... So the cool thing is about this boss is that those bags over the one I'm standing on and the one over to the right, they're actually full of tokens. So if you don't come in here with the right upgrade, or if you get hit, it's very easy to go and recover in there, which it's pretty cool. So 1344 is not bad. It's a little bit behind my PB, but it's still a very solid run. I think if I were to submit this, I think I would submit it 15 minutes. 14 minutes would probably be safe, but 15 minutes is a good time. So regardless, this is a run of Felix. Hopefully you found it enjoyable. It's pretty relatable to Mario Land, like I said, but still different. It's got different elements to it. It's not the hardest game in the world, and I'd say it's like one of the more marathon-safe video games. The only thing that's missing are like level checkpoints, but the game overs are, they take you like basically to the beginning of the level, and you get a bunch of them. So hope you enjoyed this. Again, this is a submission video. I'm just kind of making it as a generic reusable video. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, hopefully you'll consider it. Thank you.